But yeah, man, football back on the way. Spring's practice started up for the SEC teams. I've been seeing some clips, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Auburn started this week. LSU, we started last week. Yeah, no, that spring practice, that's that
It's a grind.
That's that grind for real.
It's not what it used to be,
It's
but
definitely not
spring
what
practice,
it used to be.
hey.
It's definitely not what it used to be.
I'd rather do training camp than spring practice.
You'd rather do training camp than spring practice?
The new training camp. The way they, the most recent training camp.
Oh, well,
not
yeah.
Like 2 days, but.
Yeah.
Because spring practice, bro, for us, spring, it was full pass. Spring practice was a go. Like, we didn't have no acclimation period.
Yeah.
We, first day, full pads, and we straight, yes.
Damn.
Every day, and then we scrimmage every Saturday.
Damn.
Leading up to the spring game was 180, 200 play scrimmage on Saturday.
Yeah.
You go spring practice next week. They had 2 of them, and then the third Saturday was the spring game.
Yeah, no, that sound crazy. Yeah, springtime definitely different with all the little mat drills and all the extra workouts and shit like that. Like, yeah.
It was just hitting. Like, for us, O-line, it was just one-on-one. It was one-on-ones heavy. One-on-ones, half line.
I mean, for us, it was cool. We was just running for real, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. For us, we were just smacking helmets.
No, yeah, I mean, definitely some tackling, some live periods and shit like that, but it's not like y'all be doing.
No, it's not. It's spring practice now. It's not what it used to be, which I get, whatever. But yeah, no, I remember for me, spring practice was always it's not bad memories, but it was rough.
Damn.
It wasn't fun.
That's the time where the full body cramps be coming up and the big boys be falling like flies out there. Yeah, I understand.
Because as an old lineman, that's how you move up the depth chart. The depth chart is set from the spring, so
hell no. You gotta survive the spring, so you be good.
Hey, bro, now you gotta thrive in the spring.
That's crazy.
So you go from wherever you are on the depth chart. If you gotta walk somebody down, start at the bottom, work your way up. Hey, the spring practice is where it's at.
I mean, that is where it starts, man. That is where it starts. Our spring games becoming a thing of the past. I mean, it's always been like for, the school itself, really, instead of being like for everybody like outside, other people that would probably come. Like, it's really just like for the true fans, for real. But some schools have they canceling. They canceling spring games?
Yeah, crazy. There's a bunch of schools, like I think Ohio State and Texas, I think they're doing away with it.
Why?
So I had a question for you guys. Did the spring game, the spring practice, that these schools are doing away with it, do you guys feel any sort of way about that? Was that something you look forward to at the end of spring practice, the 8-day game or whatnot? Or what do you guys think about that?
Well, I mean, like King was saying about working up the depth chart, like that's where you earn your stripes for real, and that's where you like develop yourself as a player, put yourself in position to be in the ones or the twos or in the conversation of the rotation or whatever it is. Like that's where you elevate yourself. It's so much more work done there because we not playing games.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot more like film focus, practice focus, workout focus. Like we just polishing up our skills. We doing the fundamentals. We getting stronger. You know what I'm saying? Trying to brush up on our homework, our notes, our film. Like that's where you really just develop in the spring, and that's where you move up the depth chart. So like doing away with that, I don't know. I feel like it kind of takes away some reps, bro.
Yeah, but especially for, up front, as little reps as offensive linemen get now, as little live reps as you get, because, with them cutting down on the reps in practice time and training camp, spring is where it's at. I know for me, like, that's how my first couple springs, bro, I had to get it.
Yeah.
I had to go out there and get it. So I know for me, spring practice was a big deal because, you done went through winter workouts, you done put on all the weight, you did all this lifting. Now it's time to go show all that work on the field,
right,
and continue to keep working. So for me, spring practice was a big deal. Like, and then the spring game, like the 8-day game, that was like a culmination to end spring practice. Like you went out there looking for us to get this spring game because we know after the spring game we got this party. We can do this party.
Yeah, no,
to celebrate spring practice being over.
You're really working for something. You working for like we working for on the field, and then we working for the time afterward.
Yeah.
that like, okay, shit, we didn't grind it all this time. Like, all right, man, like,
because after spring practice,
we got to refresh, restart. You know what I'm saying, and get ready for the rest of the year.
Yep.
Yeah, no, bro. And like King said, that spring practice, that spring game is big for the like, you know, earlier year players, first, second year players, you know, even third guy players that was, you know, kind of on the bubble and trying to fight for that spot. Like, I feel like they, you know, they shouldn't be canceling. They should, you know, be trying to find a way to like make it more competitive. And, you know, if their main focus is, you know, about the money and all that shit, like I saw Colorado and Syracuse, they seek permission to do like joint practices and joint scrimmages and shit like that.
Ooh, in the spring.
And earlier on the live, somebody had asked me, and I had thought about it too. I'm like, well, shit, like little spring jamboree type shit, like you did in high school or whatever. Like play somebody else in like a little mock spring game. For like you do 2 halves, 1s, 2s, get your rotation, got him on his play count, special teams, and then you know what I'm saying, like turn it into a type of event, but it's really like we working, trying to get better. It's not really like we trying to, you know, we trying to polish up our shit and trying to figure out what we gonna be doing going into the year, what we need to work on, all that. So I feel like that would be cool.
Yeah, it's always good going against other competition, like seeing where you are versus, because you go against the guys on your team so much. All the time. So seeing where you know, stack up against somebody else. It's a good, I like it. Like, it's people a cool, I think it'd be a good idea. People
will pull up to that. Of course, it's not going to be the same crowd as like a in-season crowd, but like, yeah, it's going to be an event for real that, you know, you can have something around in the school.
But you know the NCAA, they're not going to go for that. That's what they would have to clear it.
Yeah, it'd be.
So, like I said, they can do it, but the NCAA is going to have to, it'd be something they have to clear, and you know they're going to say no. But I think it's a good idea, like I said, and then really, because like even doing the practicing against each other during camp, like it's the game. Usually when you do intercamp practice, usually it's before a preseason game, so that reps you get, really, the practice reps is more important in the game. So if whatever you do in practice, then you're going to get it. That's going to be more,
right?
You know what I mean? More important. That's going to be the more important reps then versus, you know, say a scrimmage or a game you play against somebody else in front of a crowd. And practice reps are really where the real grind really is done, because that's what, you know, that's when you're really getting after it.
Right. The practice reps is definitely where shit happen for real. Like, what you do in practice is what you going to do in the game. That's how coaches look at it. That's how the players should look at it. Like, if you really about your craft and getting better and trying to be, you know, one of the best, like, yeah, that's where you got to do it, bro. If you don't do it in practice, you can't really think that you just about to magic dust in the air and do that shit in the game. Like, it don't work out like that.
And too, in the spring, you really see where your dog, like, who really wants to play football. That's where you see who your dog is at. Like, who's going to grind, who's going to hit. It's because it's going to be physical.
Yeah.
So that's where the guys who, you know, the most physical guys kind of separate themselves. You know, me being offensive lineman, obviously, that's where you kind of set the tone and let the team know, like, I'm, you know, this is what we do. This is what I'm here to do. So, like I said, I always felt like spring was a big deal. I know they taken away from a lot of stuff, but I just think, you know, you said being able to scrimmage against somebody else, obviously, too. I'm here for it. The more competition you can get, the more live reps you can get versus somebody else outside of your team.
Oh, yeah.
That's how you get better. That's the competition, and that's football, man. It's football.
Right. Yeah, no, that would be great to see, for sure.